Okay, I know there's been some Gran Turismo Sport content lately, and that's probably going to continue. Got a couple more videos lined up where I have the footage, just haven't done the commentaries on them, so those will be coming. But in the meantime, here's a league race, an F1 league race, which is what you see a lot of here on this channel, and this is going to be no exception. This is at Brazil, which is a track that I really enjoy. I love Brazil. I just uploaded a Gran Turismo video at Interlagos. I love racing here in F1. It's one of my favorite tracks for sure. And the qualifying here was wet. The race is, spoiler alert, not wet. It was dry. But for the qualifying here, it was wet. And you see that I'm getting my best lap around 4.5 minutes left in qualifying. The short qualifying that we do is 18 minutes long. I had a couple goes. I put a banker lap up that was not very good. It was around like 120. I think I was second to last. And then I went out, fueled up for 2 laps, and the first lap was 1:18.0. You're seeing the second lap here, which is shaping up to be roughly half a second better than that. And we come over the line, and you see that it is a 1:17.551, which is not extravagant, but it is P12. We've got 18 guys running in this race, so, well, it ended up P13, but I'm decently happy with that. P13 out of P18, and honestly, what I was focused on is not wrecking the car, given it was wet. So, it could have been better. I've definitely qualified better. I think I've been as high as P6 maybe in qualifying. I'm not positive about that, but anyway, it was okay. I figure I can try to make up some spots during the race. So you see us go to the race start here, and I get a really good start. I felt like I thought I had a nice little lane out there to the outside. I got scared when I saw Alex come over. I then brake a little later than he did, and I went wide, and I just said, okay, well, we're going to keep it safe. This is a really tough part of the track to re-enter on, so we're going to keep it safe. I'm going to get on the track. But then I just go full jet mode, okay? I'll just go and tell you that right there. I'm really happy with the way this first lap went. So I start P18 there after re-entering the track. I passed Kung Fu Panda pretty quickly, passed Boy for Jesus pretty quickly. I've got a really nice line into Rush Puppy here, and you see me go actually up the inside of him, and he fortunately gave me the room, and I tried to give him as much room as I could too. Coming back into a few of these guys here, I get past, who was that, Moose? Yeah, Moose went off track, it seems, had a little issue there, and I end up right here behind Juzzy. And Juzzy and I feel like are pretty close in terms of speed, in terms of race pace. So I felt like this was a nice little slot to be in front of, or behind Juzzy and in front of Boy for Jesus, who again is another guy who has pretty similar race pace to me. So you see Big Rye Guy 98 up here in front of us will pit on lap 1. I'm assuming that he had some sort of damage situation going on. And I'm just going to do a little bit of racing here with Juzzy. And I find out pretty quickly, it seems like I'm braking maybe a little later than he is. And I think I was a little guilty here of just really pushing to try to catch up with him and stay within a second of him so that when we get DRS, I'm in a position where I can pass him. DRS coming in on lap 3, of course. And so I was really pushing here, kind of pushing it to the limit. I know that I'm about the same speed as he is, and I really had to focus on not overcooking it, getting too deep into the braking zones, because you actually do see me do that here a couple times during this. But I am staying with him relatively well, and Boy for Jesus right behind me is also staying with me. So I can tell it's going to be one of those situations where once we get DRS, I think we're all going to be going for it. I was a little not too good on that turn. I lose a little bit of time, but I am here within a second, so I'm keeping the DRS option open. So you're going to see us cross the line here, and DRS turns on. I go ahead and skip 2 laps here to lap 5. I tried to catch Juzzy for the next 2 laps, couldn't do it, but I know this is a good opportunity here. He gets sort of not a great exit there. He's a little wide. I'm within 0.3 of him before we get DRS, and I get DRS, and I know that I'm going to have the opportunity, and I think he knows I have the opportunity. He does sort of try to guard the inside, I think, but I just got past him a little bit too quickly, and he really couldn't do anything to stop me, so that was nice. He's now a little less than half a second back. And, of course, he's got DRS. I know that, so it's not like I have this space forever, but I'm going to do my best. Fast forward again to lap 7. We are all racing pretty clean at this point. I'm keeping it on the track, putting in pretty good lap times. He's got DRS, though. You see him catch me. So I sort of shade over to the left to try to cover that inside. I do sort of cover it, but then I have a weird angle going into the corner, and I'm not able to keep as much speed as he was, and he does get by me. But this ends up being a nice little racing session here, okay? So Boy for Jesus is on my right and behind me a little bit. So I've got Juzzy in front of me that I'm trying to keep in mind and trying to get past, but also trying to keep Boy for Jesus behind me because, again, he's a fast guy. I know he can get past me if he gets the opportunity, but man, I will say this was really good racing. I wasn't racing as much with Juzzy here just because he was in front of me for most of this, and even when I did get past him, he passed me, and we weren't really wheel-to-wheel at any point. It was just sort of like a DRS trading opportunity. But Boy for Jesus, he and I had a nice little respectful racing activity there for a couple turns where he was right within range, and I was right there, and we were going wheel-to-wheel and staying safe. Right here, you see me actually get in front of Juzzy, but then I have a really weird angle there into the turn because I'm trying to keep in mind that Juzzy's there and trying to be smart and not wreck him. I'm trying to stay inside here so that hopefully I can keep this position away from Boy for Jesus. But I did push him a little wider there than I think I wanted to, but he's being respectful of my space, which I appreciate. I'm trying to be respectful of his space. I mean, we're seriously going wheel to wheel here. I love it. I've got the red arrow. I'm sure he does too. We're seriously wheel to wheel. It's good racing, but there are a lot of turns here, and it was kind of stressful. I was gripping the wheel. I don't know if I made contact with him there. I might have lost a little bit of traction out of that turn, but anyway, I really enjoyed racing with him right there. And the end result is I'm still behind Juzzy by over a second, and Boy for Jesus is roughly 0.7 behind me, but then I make a huge mistake there coming out of that turn. I lose so much speed, and he just passes me with ease. I mean, it wasn't even difficult, which is unfortunate, but, that's just the way it goes. So we're going into lap 9. I'm P12. I'm coming up on my pit time on P11 here, or I'm sorry, on lap 11 here. I'm in P7 because people have pitted. And then we get a safety car, which is perfect timing because I was planning to pit this lap anyway. So I go ahead and go in. And I sort of get a free pit stop there, right? And I go in, pit, come out P10, and we're getting right back at it. And another thing, I'm honestly thinking about taking off safety cars in these races just because, first of all, we have had a couple of situations where, and I'm sure anyone who's played F1 has seen them, the safety car just sometimes will just be on the track, and he's like a rock right in the middle of the track, okay, and he can certainly be right in the racing line, and you don't know he's there, and then you can rear end him, and I'm pretty sure you get black flag for that. So it's unfortunate, but I have had some issues with the safety car in the past. Also, I just think that in a racing league like this, I think the safety car does bunch everybody up and does give you a little bit of wheel-to-wheel racing, but also I think it almost cheapens what you've done. I mean, obviously the safety car in that case kind of helped me because it put me in a position where instead of being 2 seconds behind Juzzy and a second behind Boy for Jesus or whatever the situation was, we get bunched back up. I get a free pit stop. I'm now starting pretty close to both of them. So I think maybe turning off safety cars would probably better reward the best drivers, which I don't know. There's a question of, do you want to reward the best drivers or do you want to throw some randomness into it there? But also at this point, it's not even randomness. It's like clockwork. We usually get 2 safety cars every single race, and I just kind of get sick and tired of following the safety car around for 5 laps of every race. But, yeah, I don't know. Something to consider. We'll see what happens there. I got some good racing here with Mud Duck, too, also. This is his first race. I don't know what happened there. I wonder if he got tapped from behind because he just, fully went off track. And then it looked like, who was that? Oh, it was Big Rye Guy as well who got a DNF going off track. So we get another safety car here. I saw a lot in my rearview mirror in a very short span of time. But we get another safety car here. I didn't pit, of course. Didn't need to. Had just done it 3 laps ago. You see us going into the run-up here. I'm P10. I'm very hopeful at this point that I can get points, okay? And I'm really happy with the way this race has gone. It's not a great, P10 is not the best result in the world, but it has been really nice in terms of I've had a lot of clean racing, and I really thought it was a well-done race by me. So I did not like the way Alex handled himself there. He really just kind of shoved himself into it. And I don't know, maybe that's on me to say, yeah, maybe I should have been more aggressive. I don't know. I was trying to give him the room. He acted like he was the only car on the track. And ultimately, he got that position there. He does go off track, though, so I do think that's a good opportunity to get the position back from him. So I go here. I do leave him a little bit of room going into this turn, maybe more than I should. No, that's not the one. Sorry, it's coming up here. So I'm a little bit in front of him here. He is on softs, I will say, so he's in a better position than I am. I give him maybe a little more room there than I should, and also had to go a little wide for Boy for Jesus. And then coming into this turn, Alex gets a little better entry into it. He swerves over in front of me, which threw me off, and I miss my braking point. I go full send into the side of Juzzy. So after saying that I was really happy with the way the race has gone, and I was really proud of how clean I'd kept it and some of the good wheel-to-wheel racing I had, I was thrown off by Alex there and went right into the side of Juzzy, which I'm very sorry about. I will be getting a penalty for that, of course. But it was unfortunate, and luckily I don't think it severely impacted his race, but it certainly impacted mine quite a bit. Really unfortunate. I had a great shot at points there and just really botched it. So that was unfortunate, but, a lot of positives from the race, and we'll be back next week.